glitch. I hope you are still around. I am back. So I'm trying to reconnect to Instagram as well. It had to happen tonight. So we don't know what's going on here. I'm on no, live on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, please connect with me as well. Um, and so, yep, I hope everybody's doing good. It looks like my connection is not again. So if it's gonna go one way again, this another time. But if you are on right now and still with a note and a comment, so I know that you're still around. And I'm live on Instagram as well on that phone, and I'm here on the computer on the laptop. Yeah, network is up and down. Sekejap it's full green, full bars. Sekejap it's nothing. So please drop me a note if you are still around and tuning in to this show. My name is Azif Mustafa. You know me from LinkedIn or YouTube or perhaps Instagram. And tonight I thought I'd something different. Usually I interview other people, but this time I'm giving you the opportunity to interview me. So just ask me whatever questions you have. Share some comments. Oh, hey, you're still on. Thank you so much. Yay, back. Hey, Rahim, nice to have you there. I have to hide the caption first. It does look like it's a bit wonky, but everything's going to be okay. So, again, welcoming everyone on Instagram, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Normana's still there. Thanks. So, hey, listen, guys, if there's anything, I'd be happy to uh, discuss with you whatever view you have. Put it on the chat there. If you have questions, give me shoot. Yeah, I'll do my best. I appreciate all of you being online for me and supporting the show. You know, it's been going on for I don't know this hour. Rahim, how many times have we been on air? I think every week since I 2 months ago, 3 months ago already now. We've been on every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. at times that we were online, but mainly we have been on. So Rahim saying he can't hear in and out. It's the network, right? I don't know what's going on. 2 months, huh? I hope you all can hear me clearly. If you can, just let me know. And happy to repeat if I need to repeat. Hello, and we have people coming in on board on Instagram as well. Pakaba, our people on Instagram, and hope everybody in LinkedIn. Thumbs up, Majid. Nice to see you. Everybody on YouTube who's tuning in right now. Everybody on Instagram. Right now, hope you're having a great evening or day wherever you are in the world. We typically have on our shows people from many different parts of the world, and I don't know what's going on tonight. Tonight seems because of this connection issue. It looks like I'm freezing on my screen. Perhaps it's because I have all these screens hooked up. Maybe I wish should unhook all these additional screens that are taking up my bandwidth, perhaps processing power from my laptop. So, alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Who is this? Adib Apakabadi. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. So, I hope all of you are good. If you can't hear me clearly, I've switched cameras. I'm going to switch my mic soon, but we'll see how everybody's going. And if you have any questions, it is an AMA after all. So if you have any questions for me, please put it in the chat. Any views, comments, whatever. Let's have a conversation. Let's just talk and see how you guys are doing. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I always find it a great kick to to see where everyone's from. And just from my little home office where I'm sitting right now, being able to communicate with all of you is just a trip for me, man. It's like it's wild. I don't know how this happens, but sometimes when we have guests from across the world, it's nuts. So I'm so happy to see all of you. Please tell me where you're from, where you're tuning in from. And if you can hear me clearly, just now, Rahim was saying, my audio is in and out. I think my network is coming back on. It's full green now. So I hope everything's cleared up. I hope everybody who's on Instagram is there as well. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. Yep. Hey, nice to see you. Who is that? Tiru. Nice to see you. Yep. So yeah, everybody is doing great. I hope. Oh, Rahim has a question. So we have a question from the floor. I'm so active in social media. How do you balance, right? Uh, that's a great question. It's a great question. I'm not that. I'm not that active. To be honest, I'm active on LinkedIn, and so happens that it's streamed directly to YouTube as well. I've not really, done much work or any work to build a following on YouTube. Instagram, I've just started. Hey, oh, you lost me on LinkedIn already. Hey, sorry. So on Instagram, I've just started. I only have 200 over followers. We just began. But on LinkedIn, I made a conscious decision to focus on that as my primary platform to talk to the world, and because I just saw how effective it was to build a network, and how amazing it was to kind of being able to connect to people from all over the world. So I do spend a bit of time, Rahim, not to say that I don't put in the effort. It takes a bit of elbow grease, right? You need to work at it. Not that much. Well, I work full time, as you know. So I work full time at a Cellcom. I'm still wearing my Cellcom shirt because, man, I work long hours. So trying to balance it, huh? So what I do for LinkedIn is I spend. Hey, Carl, my man. Uh, what I do is I spend about half an hour when I get up and I finish prayers, I finish exercising, whatever I do in the morning, and then before I start work for my day job, I uh, I spend about half an hour thinking about what I want to post, commenting on people's posts, and engaging and interacting with people. That's about half an hour. Then I post my first post, which typically I have planned out the night before. So during the day, since I'm working, I do take breaks here and there. I take 5 minutes here and there between meetings or while I'm having meals or snacks, and I comment on LinkedIn and I comment on Instagram, and I like people's posts and I engage. Then in the evenings, if I'm live, I spend an hour and a half like this. But if I'm not, I do a bit of planning for the next day, trying to find what reels I want to post on Instagram or what post I want to post on LinkedIn. And that takes a bit of time. But, that's the balance. If you want to build a following, you want to build influence, you got to put in a bit of effort, right? So, yeah, that's what I do. Thanks so much. Thanks for that question. It's a great one. So, any other questions? We have Muna. Hello, nice to see you, Muna. And Carl, you still there, Carl? Thank you, my brother. This is the home office. Carl is on Instagram and tuning in right now, and he is a brother of mine from LinkedIn. That we're hitting LinkedIn and now Instagram together. He's always been supportive of me. He has amazing stories. I had him on my live show, Carl. I really appreciated that, and he just opened up and he was vulnerable. And he talked. Actually, his thing is about vulnerability. So if you want to know more about vulnerability, follow Carl Sean Watkins on LinkedIn, or if you're on Instagram, go to Carl Sean Watkins Consulting. That's his official handle on Instagram. So we have Normwana tuning in from Damansara Perdana. What's your question? Do you think WFH 100% will lessen the skills of communication, especially among the young generation? We've been working from home, it's almost 2 years, right? It's almost 2 years now. And I think that for me personally, in my work, it has helped us. It has helped me. I tell you why. Because before the pandemic, before we started working from home, I was on the plane, I would say almost every week. I would travel to different parts of the country because our company operates in every single state and some really small towns throughout Malaysia. And my job was kind of engage them. I'm head of employee engagement. So in order to engage with them, I need to uh, go and see them, right? Did my camera just turn off? So what happened was with the pandemic, and online communications like we're doing right now, I got to go to different states. Like in a day, I could visit 4 or 5 different states, right? Because all I needed to do was organize different online meetings. And you might say that it doesn't have the feel of being there in person. Of course, obviously. But sometimes when I'm there in person, I am on stage and in a big room and I have 100, 200 people in front of me. And the person 199 or 198 who's right at the back of the hall, I don't even see his face, much less his eyes, and I don't see his expression. And during coffee breaks, I may not get to speak with him or her. But online, I can organize smaller groups where everybody turns their camera on and I can see everybody's face. I can't see any of your faces right now, but that has allowed me to kind of connect even closer to people within my company, and everybody in my company knows me because I'm always engaging, I'm always online, I'm always connecting with people. We have hangouts every week. We call it Jom Hangout, or we call it Kita Jaga Kita. So there's many different ways of engaging people. I don't know about the young people. If they're at home and they're not connecting with other people, I think it's a shame. I don't think it's strange. I have 5 children, right? My youngest is 13, and he feels it. He feels the pain of not being able to be with his friends. But he's online chatting with them, but he feels it's not the same. So I hope it doesn't impact communication skills that badly. I think if people get online and connect with people like I'm trying to do now, we able to improve our communication skills. One other way, Moana, is that we get to review our recordings, and that doesn't happen in real life, right? Unless you have a paparazzi following you everywhere and recording you. But right now, what I can do right after this is review the tape of how I'm communicating with you, and that will help me improve myself. That's what I do. I think Carl, you can back me up on this. Reviewing your performance is critical for people like me and Sean and whoever is in the public eye and keep speaking with people. So if young people don't do that, it's a shame. I do a lot of talks with universities, talking to young people and getting them to improve how they communicate, especially during this time. So great question. Thank you so much for that. Sean here has a question on Instagram. So he asks, "What drives my passion for connecting with people?" What a beautiful question, Sean. So I guess it drives me. To be honest, I was only active on Insta. I'm sorry, on LinkedIn from November of 2020. So it's only been a year. In that year, I grew from like nothing to now I have what 17,000. It's not massive, but I have about 17,000 followers. But what I found, Sean and everyone, is that this ability to connect with people, I found myself. I think I found my calling because I found it so nourishing for me, honestly, to be authentic and to be my real self in front of all of you. I don't know many of you in real life. I don't know all of you in real life either. Those of you on Instagram, thanks for joining. But the ability to connect, even though virtually, nourished me myself. So the more I did it, the more I got from it, and the more I'm passionate about keeping up with it. So I guess it's a virtuous circle. The more I connect, more impact I can see myself making. And with that, I want to connect to more people, and it drives me. I'm really passionate about connecting with all of you, and anyone I can, I can reach. So I want to increase my reach, and I want to reach out to more people. So thank you for that beautiful question, Sean. Hey, and we have you online, Asrof Arup. We have Kiblat by Pakar. Pakabar. Thank you all for joining me on Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever you are. I would appreciate your comments and questions. It is an AMA. You're going to hear a story about myself. Wow. Okay, let's go there. So, I am the youngest of 11 children. So, this is a story not many people know. It's personal. It's about me and my family. So, my father, wonderful man, my hero, my late father, Allah yarham, Mustafa Kamil bin Muhammad Yasin, Professor Mustafa, MKY. His pen name was Kala Dewata. So some of you who actually studied sastra at school would perhaps have heard of Kala Dewata because he wrote a couple of very important pieces of realistic dramas, and he's actually known as the father of that in Malaysia because he started that realism school of theater. And his most famous work is called Atap Genting Atap Rembia. So I'm super proud of him on all he's achieved. He was a trailblazer. He was one of the first in the country to achieve his PhD. So he was really smart. So when he was studying, it was still before Merdeka, before our independence, prior to 57. So he was in an English school. So when he was very, very young, he reached, I don't remember what the school system was, that it was standard 9 or something like that, was like the top. So he couldn't move further because he was too young. So he passed all his exams, but he couldn't move to the next year because in age he was too young. So what his parents did was send him across the Straits of Malacca to Sumatra to continue his studies in religious studies. So he went to a madrasa to study Islam. He was very young. But while he was there in this hostel, in this boarding school, or in this I don't know what you call that in English, in a madrasa, the Japanese war started, right? So the Japanese invaded Malaya at the time. So all ties were cut off. The parents couldn't send him money. There was no WhatsApp at the time. There was no telegrams at the time. So they could not communicate. Him and his family totally lost communications, and he didn't have any money. They couldn't send it to him. He didn't know what was going on. But you know what? We are our ancestry is Minangkabau. So the people of Minangkabau are the people from Sumatra, Sumatra Barat, the West Sumatra. So the Minangkabau are famous voyaging people, right? Merantau. So Minangkabau would go all over the world actually and explore. So anyway, one of the things about the Minangkabau is that we have a system of familial uh, clans, right? So if you knew your clan, if you knew what you were, you could find somebody to help you out. So when people asked my dad what was his clan, and his clan was Kota, Koto, okay? Kota, Kota. So they said, oh, we know some Kota people, and like I don't know how long it took, but somebody came from the village to where his school was in Medan, picked him up, brought him back to the village. And the village is called Ibua, which is about, I don't know, 20 kilometers outside of Kota Tinggi, Bukit Tinggi. And uh, they put him up for 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So they didn't know him, never met, never Skyped or anything, but they just picked him up, brought him home, took care of him for years. So when I was, I believe I was 19 or 20, I had completed my degree from Indiana State University. I came home and my dad said, let's go back to the kampong, let's go back to the village. And I thought, okay, that's no big deal. We go to the back to the village in Negri Sembilan all the time. He said, no, you've not gone to our real village in Sumatra. I said, wow. So I guess we better pack for this. So yeah, we packed for this. We got on a bus to Malacca. From Malacca, you take this ferry thing from Dumai to Dumai across the straits, and from there you take this like 15-hour harrowing bus ride through ravines and stuff. It was crazy, and finally reached the kampong, and we trekked up 2-3 kilometers through beautiful terraced paddy fields into his ancestral village, and I stayed there for a week with him. It was one of the most beautiful memories I had from childhood. I mean, from when I was young with him, and I got to spend that quality time with my father, and that was one of the best memories I've had of him. So any questions from Instagram, please put it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your questions as well. I hope that story uh, entertained you a little bit, Moana. Thanks for asking that question, though. Farihin says, "You want to know my opinion? What's the definition of good culture in an organization?" Wow, that's $1 million question, Farihin, because as you know, I do head culture transformation. That's what it's called in Celcom, and we have about 3,500 staff around the country. Culture is super duper important for us, right? So culture can be defined many ways, but really it's the tone from the top, what you hear, and how people do stuff, right? The, you can't force a culture. The culture of a company is how things get done in that organization. So a good culture is if you can do things effectively, efficiently, fairly, with equity. Everybody's happy to go to work. That's a great culture, right? So I guess, and the bad culture is just opposite of that. When people find it hard to get up in the morning to go to work because they dread facing the office, that's a sure sign of a bad corporate culture. So a good corporate culture will make you feel energized and make you feel, hey, I really want to be part of this organization because there's a purpose to it. There's something that we need to achieve together. It gives me nourishment. It gives me hope. It gives me a fair deal. I get paid fairly for what I'm doing. I get appreciated. People, recognize me. People see me. That's important, right? So that are all hallmarks of a great company culture. And I have this little story for you, if I may, Farihin. This is a story about a person who went. Let's say it's me. Okay, I'm telling the story in the first person. So I went to a hotel, 5-star hotel, really nice hotel. In the lobby, there's a little kiosk, right? Because it was a huge lobby, right? And in the lobby, there's a little kiosk, and in the kiosk was a coffee stand. So people sell expensive coffee in this kiosk. And manning this kiosk is a guy called Dave. And Dave, oh my goodness, he is the most vibrant, happy, smiley, chatty, interesting, entertaining, funny guy you would ever meet in your life. And from afar, I saw Dave in his little kiosk being, you know, what do you say this? I'm lost for words now. Uh, he's like he's vibrating energy, right? You can see that energy from afar because he's smiling. Everybody's standing there like in line wanting to speak with him. Can you imagine that? And he's making people laugh. People are leaving after paying a lot of money for a cup of coffee and walking away smiling because of that interaction they had with Dave, because Dave was such a wonderful person. So I had to know what was going on. So I stood in line as well. And I went up to Dave, and there was no one behind me. So I managed to chat him up a bit. I said, hey, Dave, I saw how you're interacting with people, and you're fantastic, man. What drives you? What makes you want to talk to people the way you do? Obviously, you go out of your. Is everybody still there? I hope you are. He said, what in the evenings after I finish work here, I work at another hotel. I'm not like this. In this hotel, My supervisors and my managers and my bosses, every time they pass me in the lobby, they will stop to say hi, look me in the eye, and ask, Dave, how are you doing? Dave, you're looking great. Dave, can I help you with anything? Are you facing any problems? Can I support you in any way? This is Dave's boss talking to him on a daily basis. He said every single time. Every single time somebody passes by me in the lobby, somebody will tap me on the shoulder, tell me I'm doing a great job, ask me if I need any support. So because of that, Dave says, I become this. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to serve my customers because I want my customers to feel like I feel. Like I feel appreciated. I feel happy. But he says, after my shift here is over, I go to another hotel. In that hotel, nobody even knows my name. I fly under the radar. I don't want to pop my head up because I don't want anybody to talk to me because you know what? The boss is there. All they ask is, why aren't you doing this? Why do you have this shoe on? Why is your hair not proper? Why this? Why that? Why don't you have this much sales? Why aren't you getting this from the customers? So it's a totally different culture. You understand what I'm getting with this? It's a totally different culture. And because the cultures are different, the same beautiful human being acts differently in those two companies. So when I talk to bosses and I tell them how important company culture is, this is what I try and convey to them. I said, we need to spend the time and energy to make our people feel appreciated, make them feel happy to come to work, make them feel like they deserve and they want to spend extra energy and time to treat our customers well, because that's what building a great culture is all about. Thank you, Farheen. Wonderful question. Love that question. Okay, we've done that. We have done that from Nurul Farihin. Uh, that's okay. Hey, hi, Liana. Nice to have you on board. Thanks so much for joining. You have any questions, Liana? We were just talking about culture and why and what I feel a good corporate culture is and why it's important. I think it's super important. I mean, I wouldn't have a job if I didn't think it was important. All I do is try and build a positive culture for the people uh, where I work because that's my job. And so I keep telling people in Celcom, I said, my job and my team's job is to serve you, right? So anyone I meet in Celcom, if they're a retail salesperson in Bintulu or whether they're in Labuan, wherever, I say my job, right? My job. I sit in the HQ, but my job is to serve you. So if you have any problems, if your work is not joy, you tell me what's wrong, and I will do whatever I can to make it better. And we always ask whoever we serve to give us a rating. Please rate us because I'm telling my team, although we are in the back end, right? We are not customer facing, but actually we are because all employees of Celcom are our customers. So I ask them to rate me every single time I provide any sort of service. They would tell me from 1 to 5, was I awesome? 5, or did I really suck? And if I did, please tell me how I can improve myself. So that was every single time. You know, we try and get feedback from our customers, which are internal. What is the end game? Wow. So yeah, now you're telling everybody I'm really old, right? Rahim? I am old. I'm 53 years old. So yeah, 5 years time I'll be 58. Oh my goodness. Right about ready to retire. You know what? I have been working for almost 30 years, Rahim. And I have been everywhere from I spent 10 years as an entrepreneur, busting my butt, trying to put food on the table, trying to pay employees. I know that's what you're doing right now, Rahim, and you're doing a fantastic job. But I did not have the stamina. 10 years was enough for me. And I made sacrifices and I paid the cost. I'm still paying the price right now after 10 years of that experience. I had 10 years of experience of being a entrepreneur. It's been more than 10 years since then. It's been 15 years actually. I'm still paying the debt from that period. So I wasn't a very good entrepreneur. Let's say that. So I basically put my hands up. I said, I need to cut losses because I tremendous losses. So finally, after 10 years, I said, that's enough is enough. I need to find a job. So I had to restart my career. And I started as a junior manager, and I worked myself up. Uh, and I've been there, and I've been in leadership positions after restarting my career. Didn't take me that long, 5, 6, 7 years. I was already at sea level. And then I became CEO of a national agency reporting directly to the Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation. So I was kind of reaching peak there at that point in time. Then, you know what happened? I lost my job. In 24 hours, I lost my job. I had nothing. I did not have a safety net in that sense. Of course, we have EPF, but I had no side income. I had no side hustle. I didn't save money. Whatever I made, I spent. I didn't make that much. It was a government agency, but I was living the life. You know, as a CEO, I had a driver who was also a bodyguard. I had a personal assistant. I had a private secretary. Basically, the whole organization was working for me, right, to make my life easy. Also, I thought. But for 6 years, I lived that life, and you know, I don't enjoy driving anyway. But it was nice to have a driver. But overnight, like I said, I lost that, and I was on my butt again, and I couldn't put food on the table again because I had no other income, and I had to restart my career again. And a couple of jobs later, here I am in Celcom. So I tell you, super grateful, super blessed. I'm so happy where I am right now. So I love it. I love where I am. So I see myself, actually, to be super honest, finishing my career off in Celcom. And as you know, we're in the midst of a merger. I can't talk much about that, but it's also with an international group. Current group, Axiata, operates in 8 countries. So where I am right now, there's tremendous opportunities. We can have internal, you know, secondment, movement, shift. I can work in Nepal or Sri Lanka or Indonesia or wherever that Axiata operates in. Once, if we merge with the Telenor Group, obviously they operate in many more countries in Europe, in Norway, and all of that. So I'm happy. I see opportunities. I see room for growth. You know, I think I'm gonna chill a bit where I am right now. So I'm happy to be where I am. Thanks, Rahim. Yeah, Farihin, you're most welcome. Do you know what? We were talking about how much time I spent on social media and why I want to build this network. So, to be honest, again, I'm being real with you guys. I'm not looking for work because I really enjoy my job. But over the past year that I've been active on LinkedIn, I would say at least 4 different job offers came my way. So you're saying, are you interested in this? Are you interested in heading up culture in this? In Indonesia, I've had a job offer in Indonesia, one couple in Kuala Lumpur. There was one in Singapore. So there are people who see what I do right now and would want me to be part of their organizations. I'm not open, I'm not looking, I'm not actively looking. Of course, if there's an offer that I cannot refuse, I would have to accept, I guess. I don't know. I have to do the best for myself and my family, right? That's first. But to date, I don't see anything. I haven't received, at least, any offers that would make me waver in my loyalty to Celcom. I'm happy with them right now. Adrina, yep. I'm so glad you said that, Adrina, because I have been told, because I haven't been in Celcom very long. I joined in 2019. So I've been the full year 2019, full year 2020, which was COVID year, and this year. So it's now October, almost November, right? So almost 3 years in. I've heard stories, right? And people who have been there longer than me have said they can feel a palpable difference in the culture. You can taste the difference. You can see the difference, right? It's totally different from what it was. So that, I think, is testament to the hard work that my team has put in to to uh, to build the culture in Celcom. And I think obviously leadership plays a huge role, but it's not just that, right? There's 3,000 odd people before it was 5,000 people in Celcom, and then we kind of consolidated and became leaner. But I think even since I joined, I'm not going to claim credit, all the credit for it. I take a little bit, but when I first joined, you can see that there's a huge difference in the culture. That's just the way it is. I mean, there's metrics that we measure. Of obviously, there's things that we want to ensure that we have, and some of those I can't talk about. But we've seen improvement in the culture. But even more important than that, right? Even more important than that is we have seen improvement in our bottom line. Because if you have the greatest culture in the world, but you're not making money, you're not profitable, what are you doing, right? What are you doing? Why are you spending all that time? But if you are working super hard to build a great culture, and it will take time, it will take effort, investment, and time. But at the end, if you see there's an improvement in your bottom line, whew, I mean, that's the cherry on top of the pie, right? That's proof is in the pudding, as they say. So corporate culture doesn't stand alone. It needs to contribute to the business, and translating that to the businessmen, to the bosses up there, to the CFOs and all the other chiefs, is my job. My job is translating why corporate culture is important, why we need to invest in it, why we need to invest in making our employees happy. So we've done that, and I really thank the leadership, especially the CEO Idham Nawawi. He has been instrumental. When people ask what has been your key to success in turning around the culture in Celcom, I say two words: Idham Nawawi. He's the CEO. He has helped me tremendously, and I couldn't imagine doing this without him. Adrina has some secrets, huh? Well, yep. Thank you, Rahim. So, Nadia, hey Nadia, on TED Talk, yes, there you are. Thanks for joining. Okay, yeah, of course, it's a fantastic question. For those who don't know, I have been featured in two TEDx talks. Obviously, it's not full blown TED lah, Nadia kan, because there's only a few of these proper TED conferences, but there are TEDx conferences which are independently organized, but according to the format, quality standards set by TED. So TED needs to endorse the TEDx, or not, you won't be able to use the brand TEDx. So you need to work really hard to get a TEDx event up. But anyway, how to get featured? If you obviously you're a fan of TED Talks as well, as you can see, anybody can be featured in a TED Talk. You can be a young kid, a student, a fresh grad, homeless person, scientist, politician, leader, average Joe on the street. Anyone can have a TED Talk. So, what would make an organizer of a TEDx or a TED Talk choose you over any other speakers out there? Because their job is to put up a thematic show, right? They're show producers, really. So if they have like 6, 7 speakers lined up for an afternoon, they want to see a flow, and they want to see that the stories build on each other, and they want to see a cohesive theme, so that when people come and start from the first speaker and walk out after the last speaker, they have come for an experience, and they have learned something, obviously. Ideas worth sharing. That's the tagline, right? So if you have an idea worth sharing, Nadia, what you need to do is hone that story, because a story needs to be powerful for it to be effective. And once you have a story that you think other people would want to listen to, you guess what you need to do? You need to make people listen to it. You need to sit down your friends and family. Sit down, Abba. Sit down, Mom. Sit down, sisters. And I'm going to tell you a story. And if you're not comfortable doing that, I mean, it'll take you a while to get on stage and be comfortable doing that. But once your friends say that, hey, this story is interesting, maybe you should improve it a bit more, find a few more friends, get them to listen to your story. Once you're happy and you know that this story is something that people want to listen to, Then you approach the organizers. All you need to do is Google them. You know where the TEDx are. There's TEDx KL, TEDx Penang, TEDx Malacca, whatever. There's many TEDx in Malaysia. And you write to them and say, hey, my name's Nadia. I have this story. It starts here. This is what I build, and I will end up here and bring your audience on this journey with me and have them share this experience with me. And you send that out to these organizers, and I guarantee you, you will get people to call you back if you had told the story, the summary of the story well. They will call you and they'll ask you questions about the story. They'll ask you about your experience. Even if you had no experience, people put you on stage if your story is strong enough. So my suggestion to you, Nadia, is get comfortable telling stories. You know, the best way to get comfortable is do what I'm doing right now. Find a platform, get online, open a YouTube channel, on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are on social media. Start sitting down and telling stories, and then reviewing your tape, reviewing your videos, and see whether that story made you interested to listen to it. And ask your friends to review and rate you. And then once you get better, you will get on a TEDx stage and you will send me a message. You will tell me, Azif, I'm going to be on TEDx such and such a date, and I will be there to support you. Thanks for the question. Great question, Nadia. Liana is saying how to make the management see the importance of engaging medical specialists practicing in the hospital. They're an important part of the hospital as they're also stakeholders. Ah, yep. Patients come, of course. Now, this is the quintessential question, Liana, in any business, not just the hotel or hospital business. The specialists are, of course, a magnet that is pulling factor for patients, right? So, but again, business, any business, again, if the doctors are like tenants, right? And the management are the landlords and they own the space and they set the rules. Doctors obviously have the freedom. You're not, indentured slaves, right? You can up and leave, just like employees, which is why I tell my management that we need to take care of employees, because any of my employees can up and leave if they are not happy with Celcom. They can just stand up, send an email, say I resign, and serve whatever notice they have, or just request for a waive of their notice. Sometimes we agree to that because we don't want to hold them and they want to go, and we let them go. So doctors are the same. I think you need to talk with your feet sometimes, right? If the management doesn't see the importance of taking care of the people who bring in the revenue, go to another hospital. That's what I say. I mean, sometimes I'm at a stage where I don't get into arguments trying to change people's point of view. It's just not worth my time sometimes. If they're set in their ways and they're not going to change, it's not my job to change their minds. Be happy with whoever you are, with whatever views you have. I wish you well. Be happy. Speak with your feet. Just leave. What can they do? Go to a better hospital. Sorry, I can't share more, but that's how I feel. DG or Celcom. It's going to be called Celcom DG Berhad, CDB. Very creative name, I know, but that's what was that's what been filed and that's what approved. So once the merger happens, it's going to be called Celcom DG Berhad, new company. Now I'm wearing a Celcom shirt. Eventually, it'll be called Celcom DG. Thanks for coming on board, Mush. Nice to have you. Uh, yeah, thanks. Yep. Thanks for the question. It was a great question, Liana. So, Mush, questions, views, please. What about Celcom DG? Or yep, Liana, appreciate it. So, any other questions? Any other views? If not, I'll take a couple more, and we'll end before the hour. I really super duper appreciate all of you coming by and asking me questions. I hope I didn't bore anyone with this. But what I'm planning to do, so let me share. I plan to run, I enjoy this. I'll be honest. I enjoy talking on stage. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy running webinars, trainings, what have you. Obviously, I'm busy, right? I work full time. So whenever I have the opportunity on weekends and evenings like this, or sometimes I even take the day off to run programs for people. So what I'm going to do in November is I'm going to run a webinar that will show different aspects of the talks that I do. So I have like a few talks. I talk about innovation. I talk about obviously culture, employee engagement, motivation, how to motivate yourself, things like this. So I have a few of those. So I want to like have a sampler menu, right? I want to have a menu of the little things that I talk about and put it in one webinar. Invite all of you guys to come for free and record the thing and turn that into like a show reel because speakers need show reels and that's what I plan to do in the near future. I hope all of you will still be on board and still would like to hear me speak, and I'll be inviting all of you. Appreciate that. We have Shahira. It says, "Hello, it's good to get you." And thanks for coming. A lot of questions, but one I can think of now is on LinkedIn issues. There's a lot of my friends still not believing. Yeah, it's like may not guarantee their job. So yeah, I definitely know where you're coming from, man. Shakira, may I know if you can put in the comments whether you're currently working or you're still a student? What's going on? Are you still, are you looking for work? Are you a fresh grad? Or are you currently a student? Or are you already working? I'll wait for your answer on that. You're most welcome, Liana. I really appreciate you coming on board. Mush is waiting for his Livita. Yep. Soon as we meet at Shell, bro. I'll get you a case. You want a six pack, right? I'll get you a six pack of Livita. So anyway, Shahira, if I could, I mean, this is just me. If I could, because I speak to so many universities, I speak to young people. If I could, I would reach out through the screen and I would choke these kids and say how important it is for them to be on LinkedIn because you can see the difference, right? If you're a student and you're a fresh graduate and you have a network of 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. You know, Ayu Shahira, people are rushing to follow her. She has 40,000 followers. She's only been working for 1 year. Can you imagine that? She's only been on LinkedIn for 1 year. She's only been working professionally for 1 year. She was a fresh grad when she first started her LinkedIn. She now has 40,000 followers. And that's it's not just a flex, right? She works for BP. BP has, I don't know, a few 100,000 employees globally. And people at the C level of this corporate giant know her, recognize her, know her name, know that she's active on LinkedIn. She has been featured on BP Global because of her achievements, mainly because of LinkedIn. She speaks on stages nationwide and she speaks to national level conferences after a year of working. Are you kidding me? She's 23 years old, 24 years old. Are you kidding me? So this is what the potential is for young people. And I cannot overemphasize how important it is to build a network. This is what I'm doing. I'm not looking for work. I'm not selling anything, but I want to build a network because I know your network is your net worth, right? It's maybe not now, there's a kind of a delay, but if you build a huge network that is supportive of you, that helps you out, opportunities will come in ways you would never imagine. So put in the effort, put in the work. It takes a bit of work to build this network. It takes time. It takes, I mean, I could be watching Netflix right now, right? I could be chilling with my kids. I could be chilling with my wife, but I'm not because I'm spending time building a network with you guys. Because by sharing and providing you value, I hope you'll enjoy what you hear from me. If you're learning anything from me, I want to learn from you as well, and I think that helps me grow. And I'm doing this because I want to grow myself, not because I'm a selfless guy who just wants to help everyone out. No, I'm helping myself. I want to grow as a human being, and by interacting with you, it helps me grow. So yeah, if I could, I would force young people to open LinkedIn accounts, and spend the effort here, spend the time here, and build a network. Okay, so Shahira is still a student. And I would, Shahira, I have two children in university. One, the elder one, the boy, his name's Ali. He opened an account after hearing me preach about it, and he was excited for like a week, and now he's gone. He's he's gone. My son, my daughter hasn't even opened a profile yet, and she's in university now. She doesn't see it. So I'm preaching to you guys, and I tell everybody I meet, you should have a social media, a LinkedIn account. My own children don't. So that's just the way it goes, Shaira. Nak buat macam mana kan? That's the way it is. But the opportunity, Shahira, for you is amazing. All you need to do is share about what you're studying, share about your passions, share about your hobbies, let people know who Shahira Muhammad is, and people will connect with you. Like for tonight, again, I say this in my webinars, take a screenshot of this right now with your name and your profile there. Take a screen cap right now, post it on LinkedIn and say, tonight I spent an hour with Azif Mustafa, tag me, and I learned these three things. One, two, three. Cukup. Stop it right there. One picture, three lessons. Goodbye. I'll see you again. I guarantee you people will view and some will engage in that post. If you tag me, I will like that post and I will bring my followers to come to that post. And you will enlarge your influence and your reach and your network that way. And if you do that every day, like I have been doing for the past year, then you will see growth. It takes time, it's not overnight, but after a certain number of months of doing it regularly, uh, in a disciplined way, you will definitely grow. And when you graduate, if you have, for example, 10,000 followers when you graduate, will you be more valuable to a company compared to somebody who doesn't even have a LinkedIn account? I think you would. If I was interviewing you, and I of course I Google you. I Google everyone I interview. And when I Google you, I see, whoa, she has a lot of followers on LinkedIn and she's been posting consistently. She's posting quality stuff. She's posting really succinct thoughts and she knows what she's talking about. Obviously, you'd be a better bet than a kid that had nothing when you Google them or just some random Facebook party posts, right? So I would definitely recommend for you, Shahira, to be more active on LinkedIn and build your followers. Yep, yep. So Adrina is saying she's new, just started. Hey, everybody starts somewhere. Yep, huge opportunity. I had my first real post in August of 2020. Nothing there. That upward 2 likes probably. But now my posts are having good engagement, and people are sharing, people are reposting, people are commenting, and what that does is really build your profile. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10 p.m. That's the time I've dedicated for this. The rest I'm going to spend with my family for a while. My son's still up; he's not feeling that well, so I would like to bid farewell and ask for my leave. I really think that you guys are doing great just being here, just being here and listening. I hope you've learned something. What I would recommend to all of you, especially if you're new on LinkedIn, is take this opportunity. Just now, Shaira, you already took your screen cap. Now, Adrina, here's your opportunity, man. Go take a screen cap of this picture right now and then post a story about it. Say, I was on this uh, Ask Me Anything show with Azif, and this is what I got from it. I hope you learned from it too. And then post that. Don't question it, right? Don't worry. Don't over question yourself. Just post. One thing, if I can and share with you guys, is this: it's always about authenticity over perfection. Sometimes we're so worried about having the perfect post, the perfect picture, the perfect video, perfect lighting, whatever. Before you post anything, you'll never post. If I was worried about looking my best, I would not be on live video right now. I'd have a shower and change my clothes. But I just wanted to be me. This is me. This is how I am, and I'm here for you. So don't worry about perfection. Authenticity first. Just post it, man. Post it, Adrina. Post it, Shahira. I'm happy to have you guys with me. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thanks, Rahim. Thanks, Mona. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I have to call it a night. Please take care. Please stay safe. And as always, stay kind. Take care, everyone. Ciao. Woohoo. Assalamu alaikum. Take care. Bye.